I saw the white cream in my nose in the video yesterday. I apologize for that. Sometimes I have my good days, and sometimes I have my not so good days here on YouTube. Everybody makes mistakes. You're not supposed to have no boogers or no white cream in your nose, but it is what it is for the whole world to see. Yeah, I watch all my videos, and that's how I find out what to improve on and what to do better. Today's YouTube video is no exception, because today's video is going to be another sex and dating self-improvement video. Told you I was going to make 2 to 3 sex game videos, and then it would go on a long, nice hiatus, and it probably won't be until the end of the year that you actually get some more sex game videos, because I wanted to change up the content. It's still going to be talking about sex and dating. It's just going to calm down on the profanity language and try to keep it PG and give you better examples, so that way we don't, well, we're going to ruffle some feathers regardless, but you don't want to ruffle the feathers too hard and too disappointingly, right? Now this video is going to be called Sex and Dating Self-Improvement. What else? Self-improvement versus people who don't self-improve. Here we're going to be talking about men. So in this video, it's not going to be women bashing. So if the women are watching my video, ladies, it ain't about you in the video. It's about guys who do not like to self-improve themselves, but will drive other men mad 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, but don't want to self-improve themselves. But will sit here and complain about they can't get no woman. Now, on my YouTube channel, when I was doing the sex game series, I talked about winners and losers. And we can take that same mind frame for this video. Now, there are 2 types of men in this world. There are winners, there are losers. That's what it was for almost 100 years. And then the birth of social media came. MySpace, which is now a thing of the past. I know it sucks, Tom. I know it sucks. You were the first that came in MySpace, and then you've been forgotten. Now it's Facebook. Now it's Twitter. It's Instagram. It's Snapchat. It's YouTube. It's Minds.com. You know, social media. It's here, whether you like it or not. And now there turns out there's actually 6 types of men. There are winners, losers, rich people, poor people, and then there's another group of people, and that is the guys that self-improve themselves and the guys who refuse to self-improve themselves. And you see, self-improvement is a state of mind. It's a mentality. It's about taking that hard look in the mirror and trying to come to grips with there's some things about you you're just going to have to change for the better. I mean, if you want success in life, and we're not just talking about women here, because red pill will beat you down into the ground with, you got to approach girls, you got to approach girls. And this is why I tell you guys, stop listening to stupid, delusional, idiot pickup artists and dating coaches that do not know what they're talking about when it comes to talking about women, period. Because they take stuff from movies and television shows and from books, and 90% of that nonsense does not work in the real world. You walk up to a woman and keep saying, yo baby, or hey mama, or yo sexy, and you'll probably find yourself in the back of a police car. Because 1, you're talking to a girl that you don't know. 2, you don't know who she know. And 3, you may never know what type of consequence you're going to get for doing it. So you can't be listening to a bunch of morons that want you to buy their books and their DVDs and take your money, and then when you get very little to no results, you're mad at the world because they told you a bunch of lies. They're like car salesmen. They'll sell you a used car. The whole end game is for them to get your money and not really help you actually achieve your goal. And then they charge you way too much money to learn the stuff that I tell you. See, I tell you for free. Because I believe in helping men. Black men, white men, Latino men, Asian men, Indian men, Russia, German. I don't care if you're from planet Mars. I like to help men understand what they're up against. And ladies, we're not bashing you today. We're not even bashing, period. So relax, chill, do your hair and makeup, get your nails done. Just look sexy, okay, ladies? We're not even on you today. We're on the guys who always have something negative to say about self-improvement, okay? I'm being as nice as I possibly can be. I'll let you know when I cross that line of being an a-hole. Or you two will let me know when I've crossed that line. Right now, I'm not crossing the line. I'm just doing a lame disclaimer. So, ladies, look sexy. Get them nails, them toenails, their hair. Get that tight body. Hit the gym. Look sexy as hell. We're getting on the guys that complain about you girls, okay? So, it's a win-win for y'all, okay? Now, the guys who do not like to self-improve themselves are lazy. And you see, lazy is also a state of mind. I know something about that because I was on both sides of the fence. The first sign you can tell you got a lazy person, they don't like to do anything. They don't like to clean the room. They don't like to clean the restroom, the kitchen. They don't want to go out and cut the grass, water the grass, take the trash out. How do I know? Because about 13 years ago, my dad used to always come in my room and just do this. Man, how you going to get you some booty and your room's messed up? And this is when I'm in high school, of course. I used to always have an excuse. Well, I ain't got no money, I ain't got no job to fix the problem. And they're like, that's besides the point. If you get a job and get money, you're still going to be lazy because you're just sitting there expecting somebody else to do something for you when you should learn how to do it yourself. Like cutting the grass, I don't like cutting the grass. My dad made me go out there and cut the grass. This is when I'm like 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. You know, get your butt out there and go cut the grass. I don't like cutting the grass, but he made me cut the grass anyway. I don't like watering the grass, but he made me water the grass anyway. And I would always complain to my martial art teachers about what my dad would do. My martial arts teachers would look at me like, so you complaining about self-improvement, huh? And my martial arts teachers would explain, well, if you can't even tolerate watering the grass or cutting the grass, how are you going to learn how to do martial arts here if you can't tolerate that? Which made a whole lot of sense when they said it. That's when I was in high school. Now we fast forward today in 2019, we yearn to self-improve ourselves. Now, there are 7 stages of self-improvement. I mean, there's 7 to 8 categories, but there are 7 stages of self-improvement. The first one is learning how to accept what level you're at. Whether it's high school, whether it's a junior college, or the work level. Accept whatever level you're at. Now, I made a YouTube video in the past called The Rules of Self-Improvement. Now I'm about to give you what I would probably call a follow-up sequel to that video, with some bonus material, if you will. And that is, the first sign that you're dealing with a lazy person, they don't like to do anything. Number 2 is their appearance is just terrible. I mean, they don't want to get no haircut, their beard's messed up. They look like they ain't washed, they ain't washed their behind, you know what I mean. They ain't washed themselves. And you're in public and it's embarrassing. Trust me. For any man that has had to go hang out with their best friend, whether it's at the movies, the park, whether it's a basketball game, a football game, and let's not forget college parties now. That's usually where the nightmare starts. You hang out with a group of guys. A lot of y'all got your paychecks. It's Friday. Y'all got paid. And you guys do know what scoring is. And you get this one guy, for reasons explained or not explained, he doesn't have the certain urgency to want to look his absolute best for women. And by the way, this idiot will constantly, and I mean constantly, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, drive you crazy at work, school, on the phone, hanging out about women just don't look at me twice. And you'll be trying not to be an a-hole. You'll try your hardest not to hurt your best friend's feelings. But you'll try to look at him man to man. Or I guess we'll say man to boy in this case. And you'll try to explain to him the rules of self-improvement. One of the rules is self-improvement. You're going to have to self-improve in every category. Your clothes got to be on point. See, if you go 6 months to a year not buying no clothes, okay, fine. But when it gets to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years that you ain't bought no new clothes and you wearing outdated clothes that are at least 10 to 11 years old, that's a problem. And then you try to explain to them, well, so a woman's just supposed to just sit back and just not open her mouth and complain about your appearance? I mean, that's basically what these guys want, is they just want a woman. But they don't realize in life, if it takes work to get a house, if it takes work to get an apartment, if it takes work to get a car, and work with everything else, it also takes work to get the attention of women. You know how I know? Because I've done self-improvement. I'm still doing it. Whenever I go to the movies or the mall or anywhere in public, I always find a mirror. And I got this when I was in the martial arts. I find a mirror. And when I look at the mirror will tell me 99.99% do I even have a chance or not with a girl. If the mirror says, nope, Alexander, you ain't got no chance whatsoever, I don't take it personal, because at least the mirror told me I ain't got no shot. If the mirror says you look handsome, you look good, but there's some things you need to fix, hold on. Oh, there's a tow truck coming through. Then I have a chance. If the mirror reveals to me that I need to lose some weight, then yeah, that's what we go to the gym for. If the mirror says I'm too big and buff, we try to get lean. If we're too skinny, we try to put some size and muscle on. Whatever the mirror reveals to me, I try to fix whatever the mirror tells me you need to fix. So when I go out in public, whether I plan on talking to women or just out for the day, I try to look my absolute best. And when you try to explain to guys that don't like self-improvement, they give you this look like you're crazy and insane and you need to be locked up in a straitjacket at a sane asylum. And all you're trying to do is explain to them that, dude, we go to the movies, we go to the park, and you embarrass me in public with other women. Women are watching me, men are looking at me. The women are wondering, why are you hanging out with a guy that dressed like a bum? We all have been there. We've had some friend in high school, college, at the movie theater, at the park, and you try not to say anything because you go, well, he's an adult. He can make his own decisions, well, at least I think he can. And I'm hoping that he figure out for himself that he looks terrible. And when this person doesn't want to, like my dad tells me and like they tell me in the martial arts, don't want to take no responsibility, that's another red flag. They don't want to even accept the fact that they know they've done something wrong, but they don't want to fix it. It's different if it's beyond your power and control and there's no fixing it, then fine. But when there's something in your power, when there's something in your control, and you know you can fix it, and you just don't want to, you have a recipe for disaster. That's like a Titanic movie right there, just waiting to happen. The Titanic just going down. And you see, I'm explaining to you men who are so dead set on trying to get, a girl you're trying to score. I'm trying to explain to you what the root of your problem comes from. It ain't always the woman rejects you and the woman always blow you off. I mean, okay, there's that part of it, which I'm going to get into another video. But we're talking on what happens when you do all the self-improvement, when it actually works for you. And for reasons explained or not explained, someone decides to, I don't know, ruin your opportunity of getting a girl. And we're not even talking about super hot, attractive women, okay? Let's exclude the 8s, the 9s, and the 10s, okay? Let's exclude the list of super sexually attractive women that are supermodels, fitness models, booty models, actresses in television and film, Miss USA, the news lady, the cheerleader, the Queen of England. You know, women that are super attractive. Let's exclude them and let's focus on what happens when you do self-improvement and you try to lock on to women that are average and below average, and your friend decides to, I don't know, kill your opportunities when you get them. Now, after all the work you've done in self-improvement, you just spent 6 months getting some new clothes, you know, the fresh haircut, the fresh shave, you've gone to driving school. I mean, it's going to take you a while to pass. Nobody really passed on their first try of driving school at the DMV, so it might take you about 4 or 5 tries. You're going to driving school, you're working, you're making money, life's headed in the right direction. But then your friend sees that you're getting 85 to 90% of the attention from black women, white women, Latino women, Asian Indian women, and he's receiving no attention. And he keeps bringing to your attention, you keep getting all the female attention. It ain't that you're better than him, it's the fact that you self-improve to a level or two. Or you might have self-improved to 3 levels. And next thing you know, you get a conversation with a girl that's probably maybe a 5, probably a 6.5, probably a 7. And you're just practicing on your conversation skills. You haven't even asked for the phone number. You haven't even asked her out to lunch and dinner. You don't even know if you're going to get to the next level of sexual attraction. And your friend decides, you know what, I'm going to kill your opportunity before it moves any further. That is jealousy and insecurity. Because if the guy would self-improve himself, he would get the same level of attention. You ever gone to a nightclub where it's like 5 guys and 5 girls and it's even? It's a perfect balance. The guys dress their best, the women dress their best, everybody has a job, everybody has a car, everything seems to line up. Well, that's what you want. What you don't want is you're the only guy that dresses real good, and instead of you getting 1 woman, you're getting 2 or 3 women coming on to you because you dress real good, and then you get your best friend who's looking at you like, he got 3 women on him. I don't got no women on me. And then you try to explain to him that you would be getting the same level of attention if you dressed your absolute best. They don't want to buy no clothes. Sign number 4 that you're dealing with a person that don't like to self-improve. The ridiculous excuses that they give you. I don't want to drive no car because we have buses and trains. I don't want to waste gas money. Gas costs $5. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. When they start doing that, that's when you're going to have to start questioning their state of mind. They're going to start worrying and concerning, this guy's going to try to jeopardize my opportunities to score. You know, think about it. If you were pursuing to get a car and he's trying to talk you out of getting the driver's license in a car, you got to ask yourself, why are you trying to talk me out of getting the car? If you have money, right? Let's say you get paid Friday. And let's say that he is paid on Friday too. But he would rather get paid and go see a movie, and you've seen all these Hollywood blockbuster movies that have came out for 2 or 3 weeks, and you are tired of the movies, you want to talk to some women, and he tries to talk you into going and seeing another movie. Now you got to ask, why are you trying to talk me into going and seeing movies? Again, you have to question his state of mind. What is going on with this guy? And here's what I've noticed about guys who don't self-improve themselves. They're lazy. They don't like to work. They just want stuff to be handed to them on a silver platter. And they whine too much. They will make it seem like you doing self-improvement is like committing 5 murders or some crap. And I'm not making this up. I've actually seen this in person. You got this one guy that every time I go to the Grove, every time, hold on. All right, we got a work truck coming through, a construction truck. But anyway, every time I go to the Grove, right, when I used to work at the Grove, right, there'd be this one guy that every time he came in, he would always be buying clothes. And he gave me this smile, and he looked at me and he said, when you get a little older, you'll understand what that's about. Like, you're a little young, you got a long way to go, you'll understand what that's about. And even when I started to self-improve, I noticed certain guys would go, man, you dress real good. Where you get your clothes from? That's why I made the video on my top 7 stores that I shop at. So I can give you guys a helping hand on how your clothes can improve. But when I self-improve, I have a couple of people, I can't say their names, I have 2 or 3 individuals who do this behavior. Every time I buy me some new clothes, they seem to have a problem with me looking my absolute best. And it's like, I ain't no punk, and I ain't no bum off the street. I want to look my absolute best. That don't mean I am Brad Pitt. That don't mean I'm Tom Cruise or Jadam Tate. That don't mean I am Denzel Washington or what's that guy that played the Black Panther? Chad Boseman. That don't mean I'm like those people. What it means is I'm trying to get to the pinnacle of my full potential. And the only way I can do that is, well, I got clothes at home that's too big, that's too small. I got clothes that got stain on them. You wash them 100 times and the stains don't come out. You certainly do not go to the bar or nightclub or to meet women with clothes that are stained, so they're no good to wear. You get a shirt that's too tight, and then people be thinking you be wearing small clothes or something. So, when I self-improve and I see they have a problem, I'd be like, what is your deal? So I thought I came up with some suggestions to help out guys that just love to self-improve. And that is, if the individual has a problem with you self-improving, here's what you do. The days that you don't hang out with the person, like let's say you have a schedule, and let's say out of that schedule you may have 2 or 3 days where you don't have to go to work, you don't have to go to school, and you don't have to hang out with your best friend. That's the time you would go out and self-improve yourself. Whether it's to buy clothes, shoes, get a haircut, a shave. That's what you would probably do. And don't even tell him you're going to self-improve yourself. Because, it starts an argument on the phone, and you got to explain to them that, hey, I've been working for 8 hours, 15, 20 hours. I finally got a day off, and I want to be able to buy something here or there. Don't have to explain. Now, the second thing you might have to do, and this is only if it gets that bad, if you have to keep count of how many times your best friend look like a bum from off the street, or keeps killing your opportunities with average and below average women. We're not even talking about super hot, attractive women, okay? We're not talking about the women that you would love to meet in the movies and television shows. We're not talking about the supermodels, the fitness models, or the booty models. Just take them out of the equation. We're talking about being realistic here. We're talking about real life goals. If he kills one opportunity with an average or below average woman, that's strike 1. If he does it a second time, that's strike 2. If he does it a total of 3 to 4 times, that is 4 strikes. If he go as far as to try to do it up to 5, maybe 7, almost 10 times, that is a situation where you're going to have to make a painful decision. That's one of those, I'm going to have to end the friendship because I can no longer afford the expensive habit of putting in all this hard work of self-improvement, and it goes to waste. Because you are putting some money in self-improvement to buy clothes, to buy shoes, to get a haircut, a shave, to have to do your hygiene, to have to actually take time out of going to school and work to shop, to self-improve. Not just so you can attract women, but just, so you can be the best version of yourself. The years of the money can cost you thousands of dollars. And I'm talking about, let's say you self-improve yourself in 3 years. That's $3,000 gone that you can't get back. Yeah, you got a job, but that's $3,000 gone. You do 5 years of self-improvement, that's $5,000 you just spent. If it's 10 years later, that's $10,000. So if you self-improve yourself in 3 years, 5 years, or in 10 years, and I already told you there is no timetable on self-improvement. But there is another rule, and that is if someone is intentionally on purpose sabotaging your opportunities to score with an average or below average woman, you're going to have to end the friendship. I mean, think about it. You can't keep giving someone chance after chance after chance after chance if they keep messing it up. I don't care if it's a woman that's 300 pounds. I don't care if it's a black woman or a white woman or a Latino woman that's 300 pounds obese, and she communicate to you that she find you physically, sexually attractive, and your best friend starts an argument for no apparent reason. That is sign number 4. He starts arguments with all the women that you meet. Doesn't matter if it's at the nightclubs, the bars, at work, at school, at the mall, at the park, at the movie theater, the supermarket. Doesn't matter where you meet these women. Every time you meet a woman that takes an interest in you, he always starts a fight or an argument with a girl that takes an interest with you. And then it makes the woman feel uneasy, uncomfortable, and then she don't want to talk to you no more. So then you don't even get the phone number, not even a Facebook, not even an Instagram, because he ruined it for you. And you'll be looking at him with that look like, why can't you just keep your mouth quiet and let me see where this goes? And then you and him get into arguments because every time you try to self-improve yourself, he likes to sabotage it. Because he's afraid you might end up like Lil Wayne or Drake in the rap video. You get all the girls. There's a big major difference between you trying to smash every single girl and you just trying to get the attention of one. And most of the time, these guys can't seem to understand that. And I'm talking about people who don't like to self-improve. They'll do all these things to you. They'll make every little time you self-improve yourself, they'll make it into a problem. They'll take the smallest math variable, the smallest thing they can think of, and magnify it 10 times and blow it out of proportion. And when you see that he don't want to get no car, he don't want to get no driver's license, he don't want to buy no new clothes, he don't want to do nothing that self-improve himself, and he embarrass you in public, when he embarrass you in public, that should be the last straw that breaks the camel's back. That's when you got to consider kicking him to the curb because he don't understand the mentality, the embodiment of what self-improvement is. And when I say you're trying to go after average or below average women, because you're probably just trying to boost your confidence up. You're trying to see where you fit in the patriarchy. You're trying to see where you fit in the height of social order. And you don't know where you stand because you have this one thing that's in the way of that. Then you'll hear stories like, why you kick Chris to the curb? Because Chris didn't want to self-improve himself. Chris didn't want to get his mind right. You know that one rap song that Young Jeezy made 10 years ago, Get Your Mind Right? Before Young Jeezy got rich and famous, do you realize Young Jeezy had to get rid of 5 of his best friends before he became Young Jeezy? Same thing with Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne had to get rid of people before he became Lil Wayne. Same thing with Drake. Drake had to get rid of some people before he became big time. And the same rules apply in self-improvement. If a man gets in the way of your progress of self-improving yourself, and he don't want to advance to the same level as you, you have an obligation to get rid of this individual. Because they're costing you money. Think about that for a minute. To get a shave and a haircut is not cheap. It's going to cost almost $30 to get a haircut and a shave. Then you have to put money into getting a house or an apartment. Then you have to put money into clothes and shoes. Then you have to put money in going into the gym. Then you have to put hours and time at your job to generate that type of income. And then when you finally do all the self-improvement and it finally pays off and it finally gets somewhere, you get this one person trying to destroy and flush down the toilet all that hard work that builds yourself up to get the attention of one woman. You hadn't even asked her out to lunch and dinner. You hadn't even scored yet. You might still get rejected. And despite the fact that you still might get rejected, they ruin it. And whether you got rejected or not, you don't know where you stand because they ruined it. These type of people have problems. And when you have to kick your best friend to the curb, it's because you have no other choice. You don't want to end the friendship, but when it's 3 years, 5 years, or it's 10 years later that you've been self-improving yourself and the problem keeps reoccurring, you ain't got no choice but to kick your homeboy to the curb. And then then if you get rich and famous, they try to write a book. I'm gonna make an all-tell-all book because homeboy was cold back in the day. They don't know the real Lil Wayne. They don't know the real. They start doing blackmail publicity because they can't believe that you kicked them to the curb when all you was trying to do is become the best version of yourself. It happens all the time in Hollywood. Somebody gets rich and famous, 15, 20, 25 years later, here comes a tell-all book. I'm going to tell what you did before you got rich and famous. I'm going to talk about how you was a drug addict back in the day. Those type of people are losers. Those type of people have never learned how to self-improve, not one single time in their life. That's the signs, the five to six signs that you can tell somebody does not do self-improvement. Now let's talk about what happens when you do self-improvement. When you do self-improvement, you don't just get one woman's attention. You get every single woman's attention. Black women, white women, Mexican women, Asian women, Indian women, young, old. You get the attention of women from foreign countries. You get the attention of women, period. It don't matter if they're tall, short, athletic, big. It don't matter if the woman is physically, sexually attractive, average, or below average looking. There are men who do self-improve themselves just to get older women. You might find it hard to believe, but it's true. You got guys that they like older women that's in their 30s and their 40s, and they will self-improve themselves on 2 levels or 3 levels to get older women. You got guys that like older women that's in their 50s and their 60s. They self-improve themselves to get the women that are older. You got guys that like to self-improve themselves just so they can get black women, white women, or Latino women. You got some guys that like to date all types of women. They might self-improve on 5 levels, 6 levels, 7 levels. So technically there's 7 levels of self-improvement. And I've seen it. I've seen